One of the invented strategies that we'll be doing is a number line, and it's considered invented because it is supported by written recordings. But another reason why it's considered invented is because there are so many different ways to use it and different strategies to use within using it. So one of the first things that we're going to do with this is we are going to add double digit numbers. So let me get to where I want to be. So, and again, I will share this app in my resources, but it offers a little bit of flexibility with the number line. But if you are adding or subtracting a significant amount, it is going to be hard to truly show what you want to show. So the first numbers that we're going to be adding is 26 and 18. And one of the and again, you can tie that to context any way you need to, or the context may already be presented. So one way that we will show that on a number line is add on tens and then add on ones. So if we have 26 plus 18, I always tell my students to start at the larger number, work smarter, not harder. So then I'm going to really want to decompose the number 18 to understand how many tens and how many ones. So if I'm starting at 26 and I'm adding 18, I know that 18 has one group of tens. So I am going to jump from 26 to 36 because I know 26 plus 10, I'm just going to jump to the next decade. The answer is going to be, so 26 plus 10. If I'm just adding 10, I will end at 36 because I'm just jumping to the next decade. So I've already added the 10 part of 18. Now I need to add the 8 or the ones. So you can do this in several different ways. The students may want to use their knowledge of doubles and split that 8 in half and jump 4 at a time. Some of them may still be working at that single unit and may just jump in ones. But in order to use all of my strategies and be the most efficient that I can be, I am going to use my knowledge of doubles and split this down into 2 jumps of 4. And one of the reasons I'm doing that is I know I stopped at 36 and I know 6 plus 4 is 10. So if I add 4, I can get to my next 10, which is 40. And then I only have 1 jump of 4 left because 4 plus 4 is 8. And I know 0 plus 4 or 40 plus 4 would get me to 44. So then I know my answer for 26 plus 18 equals 44. And that would be doing the strategy add tens then ones, but I also used my knowledge of doubles, which we talked about in the previous unit, and I used my knowledge of making a 10 that I learned in my previous unit to get to the number. Another one that we can use that is very similar is move some to make a 10. So for this one, 26 plus 18, what I could have done is start at 26, and I think of my closest 10 is 30, and I know 6 plus 4 is 10. So similar to what we did, 26 plus 18. I know 18 is 10 plus 8, and I know that with the rule of doubles, 4 plus 4 is 8. So I can use my first 4 to get to the next 10. Another way that you can demonstrate this for your students is, if they're not proficient with those facts, is just have them do single jumps till they get to that next 10, and they'll be able to see, oh, it was 4 jumps, and you can take 4 from those numbers that you need to add. And then all I have left to add, because I've already added 4, is 14. And then I could do a whole jump of 10 from 30 to 40, because that's easy. You're just counting by tens. And then I could add another jump of 4 from 40 to 44 and end up with my answer. So really, there's several ways to solve the same problem. Kids may be at different levels of understanding those, but really all of those strategies that we talked about in the previous unit are going to apply here. The last one is use a nice number and compensate. So what I would do for this, if I'm doing 26 plus 18, I know adding tens is easier. So I could just add the 10 and figure out the 8. But I also know that 18 is only 2 less than 20. So what if I just went from 26 to 46? Because I know 20 plus 20 is 40. And then I would just have to jump back twice. 1, 2, to get rid of the extra 2 that I jumped because I used a 20. And I would still end at 26 plus 18 equals 44. So again, it all just kind of depends on your student's proficiency with using all of those strategies and skills, but that is definitely one way that they can get there. So for subtraction, there are a few different things, and they're very similar. So one of them would be add tens to get close, then ones. So if I did, and what is happening in this one is they're counting up. So if I said if I said 46 minus 18, I would be starting over here, but for this one, they counted up, and I'm actually going to change my number so it'll all fit. 46 minus 28. So they counted up, so they add 10 to get close. Let's see, could I add 20 to get close? If I added 20 to 28, I would end at 48. So that was plus 20. It definitely got me close, but I kind of overshot a little bit. So I can go backwards, and I just count how many it takes me to go backwards to get to 46. 1, 2. So then I would just do 20 minus 2, and I know that is 18. So that is the strategy called add tens to overshoot, then come back. Add tens to get close. I could do 26 or 46 minus 28 again. And on this one, I could really only just add 10. So if I added 10, that would get me to 38. And then 2 more would get me to 40. So that's plus 10, plus 2. And then to get to 46, I would just have to jump 6 more. So you can add it and you'll end up with the same answer. So 10 plus 2 plus 6 is 18. The next one would be add ones to make a 10. So very similar concept to what we just did, but you can also go backwards or take away subtraction. So if I did 46 minus 28, at this point it becomes very similar to the addition piece. So 46 minus 28, I could do all my tens, and I know there are two